Well, hello there. Good morning. Welcome to the Loch Vale Trail Conditions Report for the week of November 17th, 2025. I just left the Glacier Gorge Trailhead, which had a nice little sheen of ice on some of the surfaces, the parking lot and the sidewalk near the restrooms. And now I'm on the trail, which, as you can see, has a light dusting of snow as well that's turning into ice as people walk on it, pack it down on the trail, which means microspikes are going to be the order of the day probably from now on out for the season, because they just give traction when things are super snowy or super icy. When I say super snowy, I don't mean snowy enough to use snowshoes or flotation like skis, but packed down snow or packed down compacted ice on the trail, kind of like we're seeing now. I don't have my microspikes on now. Actually, I'm not even really sure if I brought them. I can't remember. I packed last night kind of in a hurry, but I got to start remembering them for sure. If I didn't remember them today, next week I promise I will. So I should be okay today, one way or the other, and I'm going to take you with me. We're going to go up and visit the loch like I do every week, and I'll show you the conditions. And this time of year, the conditions are rapidly changing. I'm walking along the bridge right now, and you can see how much snow there is. All right, here I am at the loch. Thanks for joining me for this edition of the Trail Conditions Report. The trail had 1 to 2 inches of fresh snow from the beginning all the way up to the loch. So it's getting packed down by so many visitors coming up here and walking on the snow and turning into some icy hard pack snow on the trail. So microspikes are the order of the day. I forgot mine today, but you know, I was out here for years slipping and sliding around without microspikes before I discovered the joy of having microspikes. So it makes it nicer, but it's not absolutely necessary. But from now on, I'm going to throw them in my pack because as the winter progresses, they become more and more useful to me, and I really love having them. So it's a great tool that I use a lot. And so if you're coming up here, just throw them in your pack and you can decide if you want to use them. No wind today, not a breath of wind, which is quite a rarity, but just so pretty, so calm and serene. Yeah, thank you so much for watching the channel, for liking, subscribing, and commenting. I'm going to get to all your comments. I try to get to them within a week. I really love reading them and answering them, so thank you so much for doing that. And the channel is picking up steam. I've got a lot of great content coming for Longs Peak, some other routes that you might be interested in. So get notified, subscribe, do all those good things, and we'll keep growing together. And stay tuned for the weekly reports as the winter progresses. It'll be more and more interesting, I think, for you to come on the channel and find out what's going on in the park on any given week. So thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Have a great week out there. Bye.